You're listening to a new episode of Girl Down Podcast with your host, me, Aeon. So sit back, relax, and listen as I unpack the uncertainty of my 30s, one episode at a time. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Girl Down Podcast with me, Aeon. And today is a very special episode. This lady needs no introduction, but we're going to introduce her anyway. The iconic Miss Diamond Stylz. Welcome to the Girl Down Podcast.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here. Ew.
How are you doing today? How are you feeling today?
I feel really good. We're going through that freeze right now, so it's about to get super, super cold. I'm hoping that it doesn't hit Houston like it did last year, but it looks like from the trajectory of the weather, it's probably just going to mess with Dallas in Central. We all the way in the Southeast, so it probably won't mess with us, but hopefully the power ain't out, as you can see, so we good. But as far as feeling, I feel great and upbeat.
And you have a birthday coming up at the end of the month. So
I do on the 28th. So. I'll be 41.
Yes.
Kicking off my 40 decade.
Yes. What are you doing for your birthday?
I'm actually going to Jamaica.
Oh, I wanted to my plan is to go to the Caribbean this year, so I'm going to live vicariously through you when you go to Jamaica.
Yes, I'm going to Jamaica because my brother is getting married. Y'all, if you follow me, you know that I have two brothers. I have a brother that I raised both of them at certain points in their lives, but I have a younger brother that I got custody of when I was 21, and then I have like a middle brother who we have been really estranged because he couldn't get his transphobia in order. And so because my mom passed away about a little bit over a year ago, we rekindled, and we've been, building our relationship back. He's gotten his pronouns together. He's gotten his name. He's doing what he's supposed to do for me to even engage with him. So him and his wife invited me to be in their wedding. So they are getting married in Jamaica. So I said, okay, well, I can use this as my birthday trip.
Oh, that's proof that you are a different space, because it takes a lot to travel with people and to go to different locations with people. So I'm pretty sure that y'all are at a great place in y'all relationship, and y'all are gonna have a good time. And that's really, I'm really happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Let me just say this. You were supposed to be, I envisioned you as hosting the 2-year anniversary of the previous podcast that we hosted. I know a lot of people continuously ask, when is Diamond going to be on? When is Diamond going to be on? Had things continued how they were supposed to, Diamond was definitely going to be a part of the old podcast, but I'm so glad that Diamond is here, and Diamond has been a big supporter of everything that I've done since day one. I think of everything I do as like a spiritual spinoff of Marsha's plate, so it just feels really good and we've shared space so much. I've been on Marsha's plate before, so we've shared
a
space
few times.
So this is nothing new, but it feels really good to have you over here in my house, and for us to have some grown titty woman talk, and just really talk about where we're at right now. Diamond and I, we go way back to like OG YouTube, like early. I actually I'm debating whether I have all of my old videos from when I used to do YouTube, but I'm debating I think I'm gonna end up releasing them like only on Patreon, just because I don't want everybody to just see them. Because I was a hot mess like in 2009 and 2008, and I was just, the stuff that I was showing and the stuff that I was talking about. I don't necessarily think I would want to put those things up now, but I say that to say that we go back to like OG YouTube where you wanted to get partner, like that YouTube where the hot shit was, are you going to make partner? Who's going to make partner? And now I don't even think the girls have a concept of what partner is and all of that stuff. And was it Tiny Chad and just all of the little ancillary stuff that when you was trying to make your YouTube hot and connect with your audience, you had to do in like back in the old days of YouTube. And I missed that time, but it's just so much that I don't remember about that time. But yeah, we're
I missed
relics.
the algorithm. I missed the algorithm of that time because that the algorithm was in our favor. We were able to actually, people would see us that normally wouldn't see us. Like they would put us in, expose us to people who was like, oh, I want to hear what they're talking about. But now it's kind of like weird and kind of racist and crazy when it comes to the content. But I think of my old videos as a time capsule. Also, you get to see my growth. You get to see what I was talking about when I was in my late 20s. And then, to now, I'm not expecting to be the same person that I was in my late 20s as I am in my early 40s politically. You get what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm not ashamed of those videos is because you see my growth. You see where I came from. And so, yeah, I just keep them up. I go back and listen to some of the stuff that I said. I'm like, ooh, this is kind of problematic. This doesn't align with my views now, but yeah.
I don't know. Mine's gonna be behind the paywall. Y'all gonna have to pay to see me look crazy. Y'all gonna know because I was, child. I was a hot mess, but I can admit that. Before we get into the main conversation, just want to do some housekeeping. The Patreon is up. For those of you who had the Patreon, you'll be able to see this video between me and Diamond. That will be behind the paywall, in addition to other content that's already up there and stuff that I'll be working on today and over the weekend. So make sure you go to the patreon.com/girldownpodcast. Only $10 a month. It's no tiers. It's just one tier, $10 a month. Also, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure that you're rating this podcast 5 stars and leaving a review so people can learn about my podcast and find out about the great stuff that we're doing over here. Let's do a little icebreaker, but the icebreaker is just going to be a current topic or a current event. How do you feel about the Whoopi Goldberg fallout with her quote unquote anti-Semitic remarks? What have your thoughts been on that?
First of all, we are not ever going to cancel Whoopi Goldberg.
No.
So whatever motherfuckers is trying to do, okay, her little suspension, she talked out of, she was talking out of her ass, because if you think that the Holocaust is not about race, I think I don't know what she was thinking, because the Holocaust was definitely about race. But the way we think about race in American Jews of now and German Jews of the 1940s, the racial political landscape is totally different. It's totally different situations that was going on in Germany and going on now. In this day and age, Jews have assimilated into whiteness pretty clearly. It is very, very clearly. And so where they sit in the racial structure, they are very, very aligned with whiteness and racist and do a lot of things that are exploitative to our people. And so when we talk about race relations in our country, and comparing it to the race relations in 1940s Germany, we got to make sure we make that very, very distinct difference. It's a total different thing. Yes, it was about race there and anti-Africanness, anti-Blackness, anti all that kind of stuff in the 40s in that regards. But they were considered a race in that era, and also considered a religion. So it was multiple things. So it was a racial thing. So Whoopi kind of talked out of turn. And I think she was trying to make it like it's just an evil person. I think she was trying to do that. But yeah, I don't understand why she got I understand why she got suspended, but comparative to what other people have said on that show and they didn't get suspended is just kind of like it makes me feel like Massage Noir, but I don't want to claim that too fast. But Megan McCain done said some shit and she didn't get suspended. Everybody done said some stuff that I'm like, why are we suspending Whoopi? But you know, I understand.
Yeah, I feel like what Whoopi said, I feel like it definitely needed more context and more nuance because as a Black person, I totally felt where Whoopi was coming from. And I can see where she lacked education, but I'm going to come out and say it's totally Massage Noir how they handle her because at least she apologized. She apologized, she owned it, and that's way more than any of these figureheads are willing to do. And the fact that y'all are going to suspend her, and you know, anytime a Black person fails, it's like, well, we always have to be made an example out of, even when it is not proportionate to the offense. But I'm not canceling Whoopi. I'm not turning my back on Whoopi. She, even though Whoopi says some weird shit sometimes, and she defends some weird shit sometimes, she's still a Black woman who has brought me lots of joy in my life, and we're just not turning our back on her. We're just
honestly, I've said this many times. I don't turn my back and advocate for the cancellation of Black women. I give them all the grace that I can. Now that don't mean that I'm gonna come to your show. That don't mean I'm gonna give you some money. That don't mean I'm gonna be promoting you, but I'm never gonna be back there. Yeah, let's cancel her. Let's get her off of this platform. I don't care. We can talk about the Coons. We can talk about Candace Owens. We can talk about Omarosa. We can talk about all of them Black women that have done some shit that I'm like, oh, you cooning, you da. You ain't never gonna see me saying, take her down, stop her from talking, da. I'm never gonna be that person. I'm not going to support you, but I'm gonna be like, girl, she's crazy. I'm done. I'm not gonna talk about her, but I'm never gonna be like, stop her from getting a check. Just like they give white men all these graces and platforms, no matter how problematic they are. I'm like that about Black women. I'm like, I'm not gonna fight for them to be unplatformed or any kind of thing like that. Anybody else, I don't give that grace. But Black women, nope, I don't do it.
Yes, but we love Whoopi here. If she decides to stay at The View, if she decides to leave, we are following Whoopi. Whoopi is family, and you know we gonna ride with you. We gonna ride with you because we see exactly what is going on.
That's what I would do. I would leave if I was.
Yeah, I mean, like when I think of The View now, like The View is Whoopi and Joy Behar. Like those are the two like linchpins of the. Not that I watch The View anymore, but like when I think of The View now, if Whoopi and Joy are not there, then like what the hell? Like it just is what it. I don't even know the other people that are on there. I just those are the two in this generation or iteration of The View.
Oh, I like Sunny sometimes. Sunny be on it.
Sometimes. Oh yeah, Sunny Hostin. Okay, yeah. I like Sunny too, but yeah, The View. I don't even
know who replaced Megan. Who replaced her?
I don't know. I don't know none of these people. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah. Whoopi is an icon. Whoopi is a legend. Whoopi will be A-okay. Now, turning to the main topic and why I wanted to have you on today. You go live on YouTube often, and you had said something else that made me think of the topic, but then when you went live this weekend, you said something else. I wanted to have a conversation about being single, thriving, and having joy, and creating the type of life that you want to, like, as you age. And it's something that I see you talk about a lot. Like, I remember what you said in one of your videos. You said you feel like you're at the point where you're not going to like when it comes to dating, like you're not going to like have this relation, like this fairy tale relationship, or maybe you're not fit for the dating market, but like you're fine with that and you're okay with that and you're just navigating in that and trying to like find joy and find peace with that. How, how did you get there, girl? Like how did you get there? Because you know how it is for us, especially when you transition early. And I was just having a conversation on the phone with my sister, like back like 10 years ago, all I fantasized about was like husband, 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 gotta find me a husband. Oh, I could sit and talk on the phone with him for hours and hours and hours. And now you said that you've hit this point. I've hit this point at 33. I can't talk on the phone to a man for hours and hours, especially if you're problematic as fuck. So, what is the journey? How do we get there? And what's the purpose, especially for us as transgender women trying to find the joy in being unpartnered or being single?
How long do we got for this conversation?
On average hour, but you know.
so I have a book coming out called The Love Beneath. If anybody has followed me for years, y'all know I did this series about love and sex and dating in my life, called The Love Beneath on my YouTube channel. And so that is going to be the name of my book too. And it is really navigating how I thought about love in my teenage years, how I thought about how I came to how love showed up in my life based in family, relationships. I'm talking about like familial love, like brothers, sisters, mamas, daddy, and friendship loves, all the people that I grew up loving in my friendships, and not just queer friendship, but like straight friendships, um, and love, romantic love. How did I start to learn about those things? And so that's what my book is going to explore. And based on how I am, I'm going through the editing process and going through, putting the chapters where I want them to be, and how as I'm reading and editing and doing all the things that I need to do as far as getting the book to the right level, I'm really going back and understanding myself and understanding how in my earlier years, because I was the girl, that what people don't understand, in my mind, I was the girl. There wasn't becoming the girl, like becoming a woman and becoming a teenage girl. I was that in my mind. The world had to catch up to me. You see what I'm saying? And so when I thought of love, my dreams around what I could get and what was possible was based on the girl that was inside of me, not the trans girl that I would come to know, the realities of the world that I would come to know. So when I was younger, I thought that if I was a good person, if I was loving and beautiful, not just, just pretty, and if I thought that if I had all of those things, that I eventually would find somebody who would love me unconditionally, be with me, I would have a husband, definitely not gonna have kids, but
Right.
adoption, and the White House, white picket fence, all the dreams that a cisgender girl could have about what love was possible. Because that's all, just like a cisgender person, I was coming up in the world where I was getting fed these same images of romantic love, where you grow up and get married and have kids and live together and do amazing things together, travel and be in love, wake up with each other, be Martin and Gina, be
Mm-hmm.
whatever the image is of Black love, Love Jones, all that stuff. I had all of that growing up. So I thought that I was going to get that. But then as you grow into your trans womanhood, when you grow into that and you start to see how the world is so structured for you not to get that. The world is structured for them to stay on the down low with you, for them
Mm-hmm.
to stay treating you like an object. The world leads them to treating you like that. Now, when I say them, I date cishet men. So I've tried everything else, not tried as far as sexually, but tried to explore the idea and people in other areas like trans men and butch queens. And I tried to play with the idea, but it's just something that doesn't connect with me and them. I'm just learning that, for some reason, cis men is what it is. And while that lake is dire, it is what it is.
Unfortunately, cis men.
Unfortunately, cis men. And so, as I got into the world and realized that the reality is that this world is pushing them to not fuck with me on the level that I want to be fucked with. And so in my 20s, I was still hopeful. I was in relationships. I was in love. I was da-da-da-da-da. When I got to 30, I actually started a new relationship, and it dissipated so fast. I wasn't in love yet. But I liked this person. And I got a video with him. He's the dude in my Angry Birds video. And when that happened, because of how it happened, I wasn't in love with him yet. It was budgeting, but he had fucked up so early in the thing. I was like, then I can just end this real quick, and I don't have to, I don't even need to go through the heartache of, getting brokenhearted because I'm not in love yet. So boom, I can just cut this off. And once I cut it off and I started to, this is also the time when I had made partner. I was making probably like $1,500 to $2,500 checks from YouTube. I also had a whole other go to work job. I was a store manager for Bath and Body Works. And I started making enough money to where I have my bills taken care of. I'm traveling. I'm building community. This is also when I was when we started on the steering committee for BTAC. I started to build an activist community, traveling and doing things like that. I started to do things that was more fulfilling and investing in people and friendships that were more fulfilling than my romantic relationships. So I was being checked on. I was being loved on. I was being celebrated. I was getting all of the things that I wanted from my man, except I was getting it from the world. So people watching my videos and praising it. And a lot of people, act like, the internet isn't real, da da da. But for me, it led to some real things. It led to real friendships. It led to real money to pay bills, real stability. So it may not be real for you, but it was real for me. And so it started to lead me to realizing that I'm actually getting more return on investment by investing my time in my homegirls and just having fuck buddies on the side, like having dudes. If I want to have, I can't have sex with my homegirls, but I can. But that's not my thing. That's not my thing. But really invest time in, am I showing up for my homegirls the way I want to show up? Like, am I traveling to their events? Am I traveling to support their business, support them? That for some reason it shifted to when I invest in my friends and my family and build those relationships, I started to feel more return on investment. Dudes were not giving me that. Were they giving me good dick? Absolutely.
Of course.
But they weren't, of course, but they weren't giving me, but even in the sexual realm, once I got more stable and I can have sex and relationship with men on my own terms, it's, only way you coming through the doll's door is if you're doing everything that I want you to do.
Right.
Everything. So even that started to be more fulfilling. But I just started to have much, much more of a return on investment in investing in my friends. And it stopped being important. That man thing and that dream of having a husband, I won't say that wouldn't be great if I can find it, but it no longer is on the top of my list at all. I am trying to leave a legacy. I am trying to build great friendships, like great. Sometimes when I was growing up, I felt like my friendships was just based on me being trans. It was based on us all being queer and having this thing that we had in common. But as I get older, that's not enough. It's not enough. We have to be good for each other. And not all of my friends, but some of my friends in my past, they weren't good for me. They weren't good for me as a person. And us being trans together wasn't enough. us being queer together wasn't enough. It has to be more than that. And so now that I've gotten, probably around 35, I've met people and built friendships that I think are deeper and more, more fulfilling than any relationships that I've had in my past. And that's what I'm focused on now. And I think it makes me happy. I don't feel alone. Back in the day, I felt alone because I didn't have authentic friendships. Some, one, two, but now I have more, and I just feel more fulfilled.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like now, I feel a lot of things. I'm usually I do feel depressed. I do feel anxiety because of the world and because of work. But because my life has had to shift, I don't feel as alone as as I used to early in my transition, and I'm more willing to like build relationships and build genuine friendships with the people that are already around me, and I don't feel like I have the blinders of gotta find this man, gotta give 100% while they're giving 50. It's like, no, I actually have people around me in my life that give me those feels and give me the things that I need to, and I need to work on actually showing up for who shows up for me. And when I look back on my life and everything that I've been through, the only people that have shown up for me have been select family members and plenty of friends. So it feels so when I talk to some of my friends, whether they be cis or trans, and we're the same age, and they're just so down about dating and about romance, and it's kind of like, well, sis, have you kind of built up the other areas of your life? Because if you, I know from building up the other areas of my life, like romance and stuff, like that would be nice, but like I just have so many other things in my life that I'm grateful for. And also romance and love, that stuff is fleeting. Like that stuff, and I feel like I can really see that it's fleeting. And I, like you said, that word return on investment. I only want to invest in things that I know I'm going to get back. And for me, I see love and like that romantic love is fleeting, especially knowing the pool of people that we date. Like cis men as a culture and the whole trans amorous thing, that's very new. And I think the type of stability that we're looking for, like culturally, like you just have to face that hard truth and swallow that hard pill that a lot of particularly Black cishet men are not there, and that's okay. But you have to be open. You have to be open to that things are not going to look how you think they're going to look in your head, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
And it's the and not that I used to have this thing where like as soon as I met a guy, like that whole like Disney princess fairy tale would kick up in my head, and I'm imagining what his last name would look like next to my name, and we're going. I don't know if it was the estrogen or the hormones or whatever, but that could be really intoxicating for especially if you just have this fantasy of how you want your life to be, but with me going to school and with me just having this stability and having this career and just having that foundation, it kind of makes you reassess all of the other. It's made me just reassess everything else that's in my life and really take an assessment of, okay, what fits, what's not fitting, who sees me, who's going to show up for me, and like also what are the things that make me feel good as a person? What are the things that make Brianna? What are my interests? What are my passions? And how much time am I losing trying to chase this like elusive love? And how much time am I not putting into developing these other aspects of my life? Because even if I get into a relationship or whatever, I still have to know who I am inside of this relationship, and I can't lose myself in this partnership or relationship. I still have to know who I am. Otherwise, I become a slave to try to be in this relationship, be this image of what I think a woman should be in a relationship, and I just don't know who I am. So I just really feel like shifting that mindset has really pushed me to actualize those other parts of myself that I might have tried to downplay because I thought it made me more attractive or more desirable to a man, if that makes any sense.
Totally makes sense. And also, we are in a position that is a little bit different. And I don't want to speak to your experience, but I know this isn't exclusive to trans. This is something that when I look back at my mother's relationship, when I look at my aunt's relationship, Black women in my life, and my grandmother, when I look at their relationships, this is actually what I'm about to say is actually true in their relationships too. It's something about being poor as a poor Black woman that our pool of men is very, very we'll find men who are willing to struggle with you because both of us don't got shit. And it works better for all of us to be working together. So you'll find a dude that's willing to fucking move in with you, especially if you got your own shit. And it ain't no I've never been in a situation where I'm tricking on a dude and I'm shaking my purse for him. But I have been in a situation where he ain't got shit, I ain't got shit, but I do got my own place and he can move in with me and he get a car. So now I got the place, he got the car. We out here both working and doing our thing. So because we both are broke trying to come up, we come together and it works out. But that was different when we were young, when we were in our 20s and It gets to a point when you get older where you are super stable and you and the men that you come across. Now, if you still playing in them hood waters, you might, in young waters, then, you might come across a dude that don't got shit. But if somebody at 40, most of the times when I meet dudes that are 40 like me, they have been at their job for 5 years. They have been at, and it may not be some rich person jobs, but they've been working. They got maybe a degree or a trade that they figured out their lane to where, oh, I can have a 1-bedroom apartment. They figured out a way to be a little bit stable. That's what I've experienced. And so in that space, when we both got our own shit and we taking care of our own shit, we got to bring something more to the table than just dick and booty and coochie and head and And so what I've learned is when you force a dude in a situation where he had to bring more than dick, your pickings get slim as hell.
Yeah, they start their asses run for the fucking hills. That's right.
Exactly. When we gotta hang out and be cool and be more in tune with things outside of having sex, when you gotta actually put in the effort to take me out, and I'm not talking about take me out on dates, spend money. I'm talking about literally, what are we about to do today? You want to go to the park? You want to go to the museum? You want to just hang out at the sports bar? You want that don't even cost money. When they really gotta put in that effort, and they have to choose between the trans girl that comes with all of these social problems and the cisgender girl that may come with some problems, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You are going to be the last one on the list. Think about how Black men deal with Black women and the other non-Black races. It's like, oh, why even you see the type of shit that they're praising, that Kevin Samuel, Tariq Nasheed, all them stupid ass motherfuckers. If they got to pick between the hierarchy, take transness out of it. They're going to pick the other girl. They're going to be like, oh, we ain't got to deal with that stuff with the Black women. We can come over here and be treated like kings because these people got racial guilt. And so they're going to treat us like kings. And if we dealing with the Black women, oh, nah. Then think about if you Black and trans, they definitely going to throw you away and not put in the effort. And that's what I see from my own experience. And so, and when I look at my cisgender women in my family, all the ones that are my age or older, they have gone through the same thing. They struggle with niggas for years and years and years. And now that they older, the people that are in their life supporting them are either their sisters, their friends, you get what I'm saying, their church girlfriends that they met at church, or you get what I'm saying, something where it's not niggas.
Right.
It's not men. Even the ones that have been married, if their marriage has dissipated or, they went on, that is what they have experienced. Where now that they're older, their benefits are out, is their community, not dudes. And so, yeah, I'm expecting more, and the more I expect, and it's not like it's a lot. I just want you to have your own shit. I want you to put the effort in spending time with me. I want you to, be that kind of person that is there. That's a man that is putting your effort in spending time with me and getting to know me outside of the bedroom. If you are doing that, once I require that they do that, it never pans out. They'll start off really, really good. They'll start off, but as soon as we, honey, my sex is good, so they're going to come back. It ain't like they hitting it, quit it. They're going to try to come back, but it gets to the point where they're trying to, they took me out on dates. We spending time. That first 6 months, they're putting that work in to, but once we get past that 6 months, it's 2:00 in the morning. Oh, I'm horny. I'm right. I just dropped off an Uber by your house. You home? You got to send some reason why they're by me and they just want to stop by. No, we ain't been out in a minute. Your swag is a whole different. You going to that fucking client type of swag. They just start doing these things. And so it just doesn't work out. And so I just got tired of even trying. And because I'm not in a place where I need money, I don't have to deal with them. I'm not in a place where I need companionship, because I can go out and, I can get my little friend to come over, or, whatever. I can do these certain things. I just don't find dudes that are putting in that kind of effort that I would need to trust and build a relationship with them. Now, at this age, when I was younger, niggas was coming out the back door. They were just coming because they didn't have shit and I didn't have shit. So we could build together and we could do these things. But now that I got something and I'm meeting other dudes my age that got something, for both of us, I feel like it's not worth it. All the stuff that they have to deal with the transness shit, the society, and whatever. And then me, you not worth me putting my heart on the line for. Because when are you gonna give up? When are you gonna stop? When is it not gonna be worth it? It may be worth it for 6 months, a year, but then soon as you feel like, oh, this is just too much, I can get a cisgender girl and go get a family or go then I'm heartbroken. No, I ain't got time for that at 40. At 26, I thought I was young and slim, not to be fat phobic, but I was young and slim thinking, oh, I'm always going, whatever. But now that I'm getting older, I'm getting, to where I'm getting into auntie status. And, when you get older, your market goes down. I don't care what people.
Right.
That's just what it is. Your market goes down because you're not that young, hot thing no more. Yes, you're going to find men who are going to love the fuck out of you. Yes, I don't want to make it sound like when you get older, but you're not hot to everybody like you were in your 20s. In your 20s, 50 years old down to fucking, 20 years old was into you. Now you out of people's range sometimes. You can look at on the dating apps. People, if you put your real age on there, you don't get hit up by people who are younger. Because they done took
some of the girls, some of the girls be on there. It's like, girl, you've been 25 since I was a kid, bitch. Like,
and you ain't looking 25,
right?
I put my real age, and so sometimes I remember when I was 26, I didn't put my age over people who I'm looking for over 35. You feel what I'm saying? So now people who are hitting me up now, I
was fast even then, bitch. I wanted the old beast, bitch.
You wanted the old beast?
Yeah. I
think an old man is looked at because of patriarchy. I think an old man is looked at differently.
Right.
Than an older woman.
Right.
Especially an older trans woman.
Yeah.
Especially one that's not shaking her purse. Because I done got more people hit me up talking about, do you got some money? Since I've been older, when I was younger, that was never the case. But as I gotten older, niggas is trying to charge.
You ask me that, I get scared that you gonna set me up a rap. Like with them young pieces, I've always been leery of messing with like younger people. They just unpredictable. Them be the ones that be turning the girls out. The girl be 40 years old. They be having a 21-year-old boyfriend, and he got an AK-47 and a magazine. And it's like, Miss Thing, what did you think? He was 21 with a bicycle. What did you think? What did you think his reasoning skills was going to be?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And that ain't even sexy to me. I don't like young boys. So I like boys my age. I like them to be my age. I don't like young. Now, if it's a late night tip and I want to have some fun and your piece is right and maybe I might deal with a 25-year-old, but that's not what I want if we talk about relationships. No, I want somebody my age that has been through some stuff.
Yeah, I just as I age, I wonder, have I ever been scared of getting older? I don't think I've ever had. I think I've had like the general fear of I don't want to get old or I want to be young forever. But as I age, I recognize, particularly for us as Black trans women, the fact that we can't age, that's a gift because time is not particularly on our side. Amen. But as I age, I don't know. I pray for stability, and I pray that I don't let my age like be a limitation as far as it comes to like creating and building new relationships. Like my motto now in life is just to keep on living, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. It's people that come into new careers in their 40s and 50s, into new romances. It's just even with the dating pool dwindling as it's supposed to dwindle. It's supposed to, as you get old, it's naturally going to dwindle, but it's supposed to dwindle because you're supposed to be. You would think that somebody would have enough life experience where they're looking with discernment and they're being intentional about who they're choosing to have experiences with. But I don't know. I just want to just make the commitment to myself to keep on living and to keep on moving. And if something doesn't feel right, to just move in that spirit and not feel like I have to be partnered with somebody or I have to be in a relationship because I wanted to look a certain way to other people. And to feel strength and to feel dignity and to living the life that I've created for myself, because I feel like I work really hard. I work really hard to have the things that I have, and I don't know. I'm just not interested. I feel like so many women in our community, they partner with so many like lowbrow, low-level guys because they operate from this place. Well, this is all we're going to get because we're trans women, and it's just like, no, I want so much more for myself, even if it's not a man like just spiritually and like bringing my energy down. Like I just have too much life to live. Even in the pandemic, it's just so many things that now that I'm open to doing that I want to do. Like I want to go to Jamaica. I want to go travel and go to all of these places as a trans woman and just live my wildest dreams. And if a man can't do that with me, then get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck, like, I don't live a DL lifestyle. I don't live in a closet, and that's no longer attractive to me, because now that I have the stability, I have the education, and I have the upward mobility, like I want to be out here in the world too, like living my life under the sun. And to me, a lot of those DL closet men, they don't even become a factor because they can't fit into where I see my life now. Does that mean that I'm having those type of romances? No, but I like to think that I have a good personality, and the best thing is when you show up in the places and you meet and you have these connections with men who didn't even know you were trans and never thought that they would expect a trans woman to show up in some of these spaces, and you might have connections that way. And I always envision myself, because you say this all of the time, it's not going to be the trans amorous men, but I feel like we're the type of girls where we'll get in a situation with a man that we might be the only ones. And I feel like you meet the only ones in those unexpected spaces. So I'm looking forward to having more of those experiences, and I'm just living my life in the lightness thing. I'm not a secret. I'm not in the dark. I'm not in the closet. And I hate that I still attract DL men, but I don't have time to entertain that. It really wastes my time.
And then it feels like that the young girls are, because of the work that we did laying out, it feels like they're having more chances. It feels like that they, as I get older and I look back and I'm looking at how the girls are doing, I do feel like there is a bitterness in me that I'll work on it as I get older. But there is a bitterness in my life where I'm like, I just don't have the patience for that. Even those kind of first timers, I don't have the like, soon as I'm also a Pisces, like a fish, honey. You tap on the window, I'm dipping out. Soon as I feel some kind of fear or something like it's unstable, I'm out. I can't deal with the fear of, when are you gonna abandon the ship? Like, you can play with the idea of
Mm-hmm.
being with me, but if I feel like that hint of, damn, can I deal with my family knowing this? Can I deal with my job knowing this? If I don't feel like you solid, it scares me and I don't fuck with you and I'll
Mm-hmm.
leave. But I'm looking at younger girls in their relationship and then their iterations with butch queens, with trans men, with cis men, and they in these relationships, and it feels like, oh, it's working for y'all because trans has been such a big thing. If you're a guy that was 10 in, like, say he was 13 in 2013, like, say he was like 13 right now, 2012, 10 years later, he's 23. The tipping point, all the Times Magazine polls came out in 2000 and what, whenever. Transness has been a staple in our pop culture for 10 years now. So how a dude who grew up with this is going to respond to a trans woman that they meet that's on their shit is going to be totally different than how when I was growing up in early 2000s, 90s. How you meet dudes and how dudes respond to you is going to be totally different. So I think the young girls are in a better situation than we were.
Do you think you're gonna be a cougar then? Are you going to preserve? Are you going? Are you going to let's revisit this like 10 years from now? If you meet somebody that's like 31, and is it going to give a how Stella got her groove back to you? Do you think?
Come on now, I hope. Maybe.
Well, honey, that's why I'm working now, keeping tight, just in case, you know. Because I had some younger ones. I had some younger ones that like are like early 20, and it really makes me uncomfortable. But like you're right, like they be like, I know about Laverne Cox, I know everything. Are you trying to do this? And I'm like, I need you to have some more life experience on you because this is really making me uncomfortable. Maybe when you hit 29, 30, I'll think about it. But
yeah, I'm not being in no serious relationship with anybody under 30. We can hook up, but anybody under 30, I can't take you seriously, honestly. How I think about it is 10 years up and 10 years down. So I'm 40. 10 years from 40 down from 40 is 30. 10 years up is 50.
okay.
So anybody in that range, I really want it to be 5 years up. I want it to be 35 and up, 45 and under. But I'm willing to go 10 years up, 10 years down for my relationship. So I can deal with anybody in their 30s and anybody in their 40s. And I'm comfortable with that. So somebody 30 during this past 10 years, they would have been 20. So somebody who has grown up in this world where
you 30-year-olds out there listening, you 30-year-old sister man, y'all here. Y'all here. So make sure y'all come correct with y'all shit.
Yeah. It's just
No.
I think I think we're coming into a place where the guys are in the dating pool they know that we are out here because of what culture has done, the culture shift that we had. You remember when we were coming up on YouTube, early days of YouTube, we were it was a subgroup. It was like, it was a whole we were a subculture of a subculture. We were a subculture of the LGBT. Because mainly it was LGB and not even fucking B. They didn't even count them. So maybe it was just the lesbian, the gays. So, now, we taking center stage for real. And so, I think that's going to shift how people engage with us.
So how are you so being single, how are you still working to cultivate love in your life, or to cultivate, like, what are some things you do to, like, just keep that softness? Because what I don't want people to leave this conversation is that we're just like, oh, we hate men, and we it's like, no, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. We're saying we're living fulfilling lives as single women. We don't tolerate nothing, but that doesn't mean that we're not cultivating and creating space for love, so that when the right situation does come, we're affirmatively making the choice to be in that situation. So how are you creating that for yourself?
Just leaving the door open and not being bitter in the sense of, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not talking to anybody. No. If you come in my inbox, you're not being an asshole. You're not asking me to send you dick pictures. You're not, I'm a freak. So we can get to that level. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm a sexual being. So we gonna get there. But you got to come at me on some gentleman. I like a gentleman. So that's what's gonna turn me on. I'm probably gonna be the first motherfucker to ask you to send me some dick pictures. But let me be the one. I don't need you to be the one. Let me balance it out. Let me ride this horse, and you just follow where I'm going. But I like you to be a gentleman. I want you to spend time. If you just trying to fucking come over and chill in my fucking house, no, I'm not doing that. I'm leaving the door open for you. Want to chill? You asking me out on a date? Sure, we can go on a date. I'm on all the apps. I'm on Jacked. I'm on Grindr. I'm on POF. I'm on all the things where all the possibilities can happen. So hit me up. Be on some respectful shit. Be on spend some time, not just on some sexual shit. Now, if you hit me up on Jack, it's, my profile is on some sexual stuff because I know where I'm at.
I still like to hope that it's somebody nice on Jack the Grinder, but
doubt it. Y'all can come over and give me some head. But that's a possibility. If you hit me up and we on some talk and it's on some gentleman stuff, and that might work. I doubt it. But I'm on different apps. The door is open. If you a trans or amorous man, come to me correct. I can't now. Don't be. You can't have my friends as your ex. Like, if you a trans amorous man that ain't been with none of my friends or bitches I know. I know that's hard. Because we're such a small circle of people.
Right.
But I don't need you to be a first timer. But you can't have a roster of bitches that's my friends on your list. No. I can't deal with that. That's something I can't deal with. But if you're a trans amorous man that ain't been in the pools that I've been in, that we ain't got mutual friends that you done fucked with, I'll give you a chance. Now you got to have some stuff going for yourself. This is if you're trans amorous or anybody. You have to have some. You don't need to be rich, but you have to have some type of money. Because if I want to, not rich money, but money, if I want to travel to Jamaica, if I want to travel to DC, and I want you to go, I need you to be able to say, okay, I can afford it. I can go half on the room, half on the. I can get buy my ticket. Something. I need you to
book our tickets, and I'll pay you half the money.
Or I'll buy my own shit and you meet me there.
Right.
I can do my own shit. And you meet me there. But if every time I want to do something, you like, oh, I'm broke, I ain't balling, I ain't got nothing. We in different situations, baby.
Right.
I'm not rich either. All I make is about 55,000 a year. I don't make a lot. I'm not rich at all. But I make enough money to do whatever the fuck. I don't have any children. And so I make enough money, and my cost of living is low. I live in fucking Houston. So I just make enough money to travel and do whatever the fuck I want to do. And it's not gonna hurt my bank account. And so I want somebody like that. I don't need you to be rich, but I need you to be we got to be able to spend time together and not just sit up in the house.
Yeah, not sitting in the house. I'm not smoking weed, which you all like. Now that I've found out shit that I like to do. I want to go to the plays. I want to go do cultural events. I like my world is bigger than being in a house relationship.
Yeah, no,
that's just not. Yeah, that's like if you would have met me in my 20s, that would have sufficed. But I want to be of the world. I want to be in the world, and I want to be with somebody that wants to. And if you're somebody that's still struggling with your trans attraction, that's going to take you out of the running because you're not going to try to be out in the world just without a care. You're going to be out in the world trying to figure out, well, who else knows that she's trans? And I don't live my life. If I'm not living my life with those thoughts, you shouldn't have those thoughts either, sir. But,
and then when a part of being open is putting myself out there too. So I just talked about the apps, but also in-person events. As a trans woman, sometimes because we're worried about getting clocked, we're worried about all these kind of things. Sometimes we don't put ourselves in social situations to be exposed to those type of men that you was talking about. We don't put ourselves in situations where they're going to be surprised that we are in. We love to go to the gay club, go to the ball, go to the shit that we just gonna meet a bunch of butch queens, child.
And walk realness.
Yeah, I put myself in situations. I go to the straight bar, even if it's by myself, because I feel like I get through better when I'm alone. So even if it's by myself, if I'm going to the sports bar,
we should have an all girls, like about 15 girls, and we just like go to the straight bar and just
and push through. I don't mind. I wouldn't want to go with a bunch of girls though, just because.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I don't mind, but I would be down. But if I'm going to look to find a dude, if I'm there with the intention to find a dude, I probably wouldn't go with a bunch of girls. I probably would just go alone. I will go on Facebook and search for events that I'm interested in. I do this all the time. Look on Facebook, click events, and it will show you events that are happening in your city, in your area. And I've found podcast events, made podcast connections with that. I've made and found straight dudes who I'm cool with, that's on my list, and we talking. You know what I'm saying? We follow each other on Instagram. Like, it's just meeting people outside of my circle have not only opened up money opportunities for me, but it also opened up a whole new world of dating. And I can't say that I have found some love, but I have found good friends. And I think leaving that, going out and doing things that you normally wouldn't do. I want to go. There's this in Albuquerque, in New Mexico, every October. I didn't go this year because we did our recording this year. But there's a hot air balloon festival. I want to go to that. Like, dude,
I want to go to that too. Sure.
Yeah, this every October. Do things that are out of your norm so you can meet, be friendly, talk, and say, hey, it may not lead to love, but it leads to meeting new people and being exposed
and having new life experiences.
Do not be stuck in the fucking house. Do not be stuck going to no gay club, going to no ball. Not saying that those are not amazing.
Swiping every night and swiping every now someday I just don't have the energy to swipe because it's like this is time that I could be out like doing something else and just being in the world, this thing, like just being in the world, living my life.
I went to this event in it was some kind of little workshop or something at the University of Houston, and it was like a small group, probably like 10 people. And it was like this, not a diversity and inclusion workshop, but it kind of gave you that vibe. But me being there, one of the facilitators was talking about transness, and me being there, I didn't have to disclose, but I did because they were talking about trans shit, and they were talking about it in a really, really good, open way that was teaching
You felt
people.
safe.
I felt safe, and I told my tea, and it opened me up to so many money opportunities. I was able to, they were spending, university coins to get me to come participate in some of their events. But I also met some guys that were so cool as fuck. They were black nerds, but they were cute as fuck. One of them I got to play with. He was fun.
see, open to the possibilities.
Open to the possibility.
Yes.
And he never would have met me because trans ain't really his thing.
Right.
But nerd shit is, and we were there on some nerd shit.
Right.
And we exchanged number, follow each other on Instagram, and it led to me going on a date with him, a couple of dates. The unfortunate thing is he ended up moving somewhere else, and it didn't work out. But it was fun while it lasted, and it felt normal. It felt like a normal, great, fun relationship with a cishet dude that just felt good. It wasn't any kind of harm or any kind of shade that happened with us. And so, you get what I'm saying? I think being open and putting yourself in situations like you would, because I think a part of being, we love to talk about who's fish and who's not fish. I think a part of being fish is, honey, being out in the world like that. Being out in the world, meeting people, and not having your transness hold you back from doing things. And that may be from a place of privilege because I have a certain level of passability, but I don't code switch. My voice is not some dainty voice. Sometimes people clock me for my voice. I may look like something, but my voice gets me clocked all the time. And so it's not always about, but I'm not worried about that no more at 40. I'm not fucking sitting around here worried about getting clocked out of here. I don't want to be clocked if I'm in them at 12 o'clock at night in the hood. No, because that might make me unsafe. But it's daytime and I'm out at the mall. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about getting clocked. Clock me. Fuck you. I don't care. I just want to live my life and be happy and do fun shit. That's what I do. And so me getting clocked, I'm not worried about in certain situations. I'm worried about getting clocked in dangerous situations, but I'm just having fun. No, I'm not. I'm trans. Yes, I'm a trans woman. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, not sorry, but yes. That's the tea. You don't have to wonder. Yeah, I am. I'm proud to be trans. Any questions?
Yeah. I know when I first moved to DC, everything was shut the fuck down. But this past summer, and once it gets hot again, now I try to I make the commitment to like take myself out somewhere nice in DC, like every weekend, like find somewhere to go. And even I remember talking about this on the old podcast. Like the past couple of times I've been to Atlanta, because I center myself, is such a wildly, because I was the type of girl, I would go to Atlanta and just meet niggas and just be off the chain. But I don't know. It's just been a shift in me. And it's like, no, like I actually want to do stuff in and around Atlanta. I want to go get my facial, go have dinner at the spinning, like just go do all of this like touristy stuff that I wasn't able to do because I was spending so much time primping and prepping for these guys to come to my hotel room and wear me out, and then I lose. Like I actually want to see. Like now, I'm so much into my touristy bag and going to the little gift shop and buying magnets and putting them all over my refrigerator, because this is like I want to curate memories,
experiences, bitch.
Right.
Yes.
And fucking and sucking these niggas, like you forget about them like that. Like if I
start sucking dick at 5, I got enough dick sucking memories.
Right. Like you forget, like that the niggas that I fuck with when I travel or even locally, you forget about them. But like the experience that I've had going to go, like riding the light rail in Atlanta, going to Martin Luther King, like you don't forget that stuff, and it builds character, and you never know who you're going to meet. And I just I'm I'm so much more open to people now. And whether you know or I'm trans or not, I still feel like I'm a fun person. So even if you have any apprehensions about me being trans, once you talk to me, interact with me, like that shit will be at ease. And I don't know. I just feel I see my world so much bigger, and I just want the younger girls to know that it's okay to desire men and want men and to have romantic experiences, but you should also be investing like that into yourself as well, to just have some experiences is for yourself, and to not let the statistics of life get you down.
And
um
don't think bigger. Like, we not telling you be a prude and not want to have Trey. I
no.
still want to have Trey, but I don't want
Yeah,
to have
bitch,
Trey
I would.
coming in my
Yeah,
on my
bitch, cut
couch.
now. Cut up, bitch. I have my rotation, but it's a time and a place for them,
Right.
bitch.
I want to have trade in Paris.
Right,
I want to have
right,
trade in the Caribbean. I want to have trade in places that I've never been. I want to suck
right,
somebody dick at the Eiffel Tower.
right,
I don't want to suck no nigga dick on my couch. Fuck that. I want to do
right,
something exciting and fun. If it's involving sex, I want to get some head, honey, in South Africa, in Cape Town or Johannesburg or something.
right.
I want to do shit that involve more than just men, just on the sexual empty level. If I'm gonna do some sex shit, I want to do some shit when I'm out and having fun at the rave bar in London. I want to do shit like that. I don't want to do some basic ass fucking the hood nigga that live in the two apartments next door to me. Girl, what?
No,
No, that's not sexy to me. I want the experience. I want to be the girl, and we ain't got no fucking kids. We don't got the perk of us not being cisgendered is we're not like at this, especially at this age. Usually by the time you get to 40 and you a cis girl, you got some kids that's locking you down. We don't have that.
not these age, because they having them so young, girl. By 40, the kids is going off to college and they off the chain,
Right. Now they free again.
bitch.
But we don't have to worry about that. And so we can be out here going to luxury restaurants. Treat your fucking self to being treated nicely, because you done said it, and this shit don't cost a lot. This is something that you can
No.
save up for. Don't think you can't fucking do this shit. It's shit that you can do.
And how can you expect somebody to come and date you and you're not setting that standard for yourself, or just like nice things to do for yourself? I treat myself so good, and not that I spend a whole bunch of money. Sometimes I do, but it's just about setting standards for
Because you work
yourself.
hard.
Yes, it's about setting standards for yourself so that nobody can come in and half-ass it, because I know what it feels. I know what it feels like to have these experiences, because I treat myself good, and you can't treat me less than how I treat myself, bitch. It's just not gonna fly.
Look, you and Brianna McCree just had a luscious, delicious filet mignon and crab cakes and lobster at Eddie V's, having fun. Some nigga can't be like, oh, I can take you to Eddie V's and did it. What?
No,
Yeah, I went there with my homegirls a couple of weeks ago. It was nice,
right, right.
honey. It was nice. We do luxury shit over here. So you bringing it is just regular. What are you doing that's extra? What are you doing that's more? And it's not about spending money. For me, I always tell people my standard is the effort. The one of the best dates that I went on was the cheapest fucking date that I had ever been on. But it was because he curated it. He put, based on the conversation that we had in our POF situation, he knew that I liked Boston Terriers. He knew that I was just now getting into some fitness stuff, not working out and shit, but he was showing me a place where I could go to work out. So this is where we started. We started to go on this trail that was like a little walking trail it was beautiful. It was like deers and rabbits running around. It was just a beautiful trail in Houston. And so I put on some tights and a sports bra, and we had our little step counter and walked first. Then we decided to go back to the house, shower, da 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 da. Then we went to go to the house, do our thing. Him go to his, I go to mine. We come back together. He took me to a Boston Terrier rescue just to kick it with the dogs. Super, super cute. Because I told him my favorite dog is a Boston Terrier. None of this stuff costs money. None of it. And it was one of the best dates that I actually have been on. It was great. And so that's what it is. It's how thoughtful are you being? How are you putting in the effort to impress me? Diamond style for me. You're not just taking me to some fancy restaurant because you think it's costs a lot of money. That's not going to really impress me. Actually, my favorite restaurants in Houston are not the fancy ones. Mm-hmm. It's the hood ones with the good food. it's the crab legs that, yeah, they may be like $50, but you getting this, you getting yummy, delicious crab legs that I love. You don't need to, it's not about money. It's about the thoughtfulness and the effort. Oh my God. This dude has put thought into dating me. And it revolves around me. That's what I want. That's what dudes don't give. They give you a stereotypical, let me take her to this typical nice restaurant, if that, and sit down and talk. No, I like dudes who really put their thought into what they're doing.
And I hope she give me some. I hope she give me some pussy, or in our case, I hope she let me suck her off by the end of the night.
And baby, you could have gave me that money for that bill, and I would have let you suck me off. You could have hit me up and said, "Hey, yo, right. I got $300. Can I suck that dick? Sure, come on. I need that $300. Right. I don't care how broke I am. I'm gonna take $300. I mean, I don't care how rich I am. I'm gonna take that $300. You can make it easy. If you trying to sexualize me, it's actually easy. Bring some money. Now you can't bring 100. You can't bring my old rate from the old ads. You got to bring a little bit more for me to be interested. But yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, bring me some money. You can make it easy. That doesn't waste our time. But it's not gonna be cheap.
No, but I am so happy to be. I'm happy to be at this age. I'm happy to be aging. I'm happy that I find joy in spending time by myself and getting to know myself, and just getting to like myself as a person. I just feel good that I'm cultivating relationships with my sisters, with my mom, yes. With family members. Because like those are the folks that are always there for me, that if I need to pick up the phone and be like, the bitch, like I need help, or I need somebody to just talk, like those are the things that matter to me now. And I'm just so happy that I'm on this side and I'm able to see it, and I don't feel alone. And even in those moments in my 20s where I felt like I was alone, or I felt like I was unlovable, it's like, no, that was a lie. I always had love in my life, even if it wasn't in a romantic form. I always had people that loved for me and people that saw it for me. And I look forward to just building that more and just opening myself just to new experiences and just aging with grace and aging with dignity, and not looking at my age because I'm not in a position where I have to survive on my looks, or my looks are not my only ticket, that I'm able to just accept my age and age gracefully and just walk the path that life has laid for me. And I look forward to when I turn 40. Hopefully the world will be semi-normal or something, because I want to have a 40th birthday. I want to have fun, bitch. I want to, and it's taken me so long to get here, but now that I'm here, I'm just going to have fun, and I want to have fun with those that want to celebrate and party with me. And that's how I feel.
I don't feel 40. Honestly, I think because our timelines are different, mm-hmm. in regards to cisgender people, I think that our time, because and I don't want to speak to everybody, but for me, I'm just now, I'm done with surgeries. Like, I've been done with surgery for a minute, but I'm done with all the surgeries that I wanted, that I dreamed of getting. They're water under the bridge. So now I feel like I'm doing what I wanted to do in my 20s. In my 20s, I was struggling. I was trying to keep a roof over my head. I was prostituting. I was raising a fucking 12-year-old. I was doing like shit that I was supposed to be doing in my 20s. Other 20-year-olds were fucking going to college and living a certain type of life that I wasn't privileged to live. Like I just didn't I was struggling. And so in that regards, I don't feel like that now. I'm doing now in my late 30s, early 40s, I'm doing what I wanted to do in my 20s, traveling, going to places that I've never been, passport, hopping to different countries. And you get what I'm saying, doing those kind of things, which most people start to do when they don't have kids in their 20s. And that I think what I imagine cis people, they start doing that in their 30s, in their 20s and their 30s. I'm doing that now. So I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel older. People now, of course, motherfuckers who shady gonna remind me, oh, she 40, she an old head, da da da. But to me, how I feel for myself, I don't feel like I'm 40. I feel like, oh my God, my trans shit is done. Not being trans, but the shit that I was focused on being, getting my look together, da 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 da. All that shit is done. Now I can really go out in here in the world and be who I want to be. That is literally coming out in me in my late 30s, early 40s. Like I'm traveling and really out here. Ooh, I'm doing my thing now. And so I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel 40. I just feel like I'm now coming into my womanhood. Not as far as being a woman, but doing normal, what I imagine is normal woman stuff. Single woman stuff, traveling and having fun and just being you, skinny dipping in the ocean. Shit that, hot little college girls get to do. That's what I'm doing now.
Oh my God. This conversation feels so good. I hope everybody that's listening or watching that y'all are inspired by this conversation. In the words of Debbie Smith, it gets greater later. And
how about that?
It truly does. It gets greater later. And here's to just more life, more living, more traveling, even in the age of the corona. And since we don't know if the world is going to end, we have to live it up. We have to live it up. And we have to not let this life get the best of us. But in your words, I think we've done a show. So let the people know where they can find you if they don't already.
Well, thank you for having me. I love that. Anytime we share space, I love that over the years we have gotten closer and closer. You are one of the few people that have stayed at my house. One of the few people that if you got something coming on, I'm traveling to see it. You get what I'm saying? I really love that we have garnered a friendship even outside of the internet stuff, just us being sisters on that level. And I really appreciate you and love you so much.
Thank you. I love you too.
In regards to where they can find me, you can find me Diamond Stylz, DIAMONDSTYLZ, as in zebra, everywhere. Instagram, Facebook. I also Twitter, all that kind of stuff. TikTok, all that shit. I also have a podcast, Marsha's Plate. You can follow Marsha's Plate on any platform as well, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And yeah, we are, we out here doing trans stuff, creating trans content for trans people. And I'm glad to partnership with you.
All right, y'all. Make sure y'all go support Diamond Stylz. Go support Marsha's Plate. Although I'm sure most of y'all that listen to my show are supporters and listeners of Marsha's Plate. And until next time, I will see y'all on a new episode or another episode of Girl Down Podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Girl Down Podcast with me, Aeon. If you like the show, please be sure to go on over to Apple Podcasts and rate and review this podcast. Also, make sure that you're engaging with me on social media. Also, if you have any inquiries or you want to send me any questions, be sure to email me at girldownpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, bye y'all.